How y'all doing tonight? Great. It's really great to be here. I remember the first Tea Party event I went to, I think it was the first one I went to, is that we had over 2,000 people at the Bayfront. And I remember Eric Von Wade invited me up on the stage. And I think I said something to the effect that, hey, let's throw San Martis in the water and out in the bay, and that got a good applause there. The campaign's been great. I mean, I'm really getting a lot of support. Thank you all for the support you've given me so far. Today I was out going around putting up signs, and I have a fireman that helps me put up signs, and I put up signs. And we're the only two that does it. I do a lot of my work myself, and going around putting up signs, people are stopping me and getting more signs and giving their support, so it's really great. Before I get started, I would like to talk a little bit about myself, my personal history. I'm a native of Corpus, Christi. I've been married for 25 years. I have two kids. They both are, one of them went through, well, they're both in public schools. My daughter went through public school, graduated from Ray, and she's at University of Texas, which is kind of hard sometimes because I'm an Aggie. And my son is at a sophomore at Ray High School. I actually went to Montclair, Cullen King. I went to Texas A&M University, College Station. I got an ocean engineering degree. I worked my way through college. My dad's always been real supportive, but a lot of us went through some hard times in the oil business. And when I graduated in 1979, it was pretty tough. So I worked my way, after the first year my dad paid for it, and after that I worked my way through college. Various jobs. I worked as a merchant mariner. I worked in the offshore as an oil field worker. Worked as a bartender. I worked as an engineering assistant. At one point at College Station, I worked at a lignite coal testing facility in the morning, and then I went to work in the ocean engineering lab in the afternoon, and then I cooked catfish at night. So I'm no stranger to hard work. In fact, I'm the only candidate that instead of spending $3,125 to put my name on the ballot, I got over 789 signatures. And there was only 500 required, but I'm very fiscally responsible. And I'm not going to take contributions and use that for my filing fee, like the other candidates did, when I can go out and do a little hard work and get the signatures myself. But the main thing I gleaned from that was I got to meet with all my constituents face to face. And that's what you really want in Congress. You want somebody to be your voice. You want somebody to meet you face to face, and you have concerns, you'll be able to come to me and talk to me about it. I am a fighter, and I will fight for you in Congress. I want to go kind of over a little bit of a prepared speech here. I am a very conservative Republican candidate. And what does James Duerr stand for? I stand for lower taxes, smaller government, and local control. As a husband and father, I have the same concerns that you do. And let's look at what I've done as a public servant. Number one, as an appointee to the Nueces County Appraisal District, I was responsible for refunding of $2.4 million back to the taxpayers. Two, as a Del Mar border region, we lowered the out-of-district fees by 50%. And what this did is this raised Del Mar students to the highest enrollment in history. So it's pretty good. You get lower fees and you get more students. It's pretty good. And we actually got more fees. We'll get more reimbursement from the state of Texas because we have more students. So it all works out. I'm active in Rotary, my church. I've served on the City of Corpus Christi Committee for Persons with Disabilities. I've also been on the Volunteer Center of the Coastal Bend. I'm currently Vice Chairman of Leadership Corpus Christi, and I am an Eagle Scout. As your next Congressman, James Duerr will be your voice for lower taxes, less government, and personal responsibility. It is important to send a fiscal conservative to Washington, someone who can fight for South Texas. I'm not about rhetoric. I'm about solutions. And I have a platform I call the 4 E's. Energy, education, environment, and ethics. For energy, we've lost thousands of jobs here. This is just one of my 4 E's. I was telling Blake the other day I have 100 E's, but these are just 4. But basically, we've lost thousands of jobs in South Texas, and we shouldn't be losing those jobs because we have abundance of natural gas, and we need to make sure we bring natural gas as an integral part of our energy policy. If we do that, we're going to create thousands of jobs for South Texas. Education, of course, I'm a border regent for Del Mar College, so I'm very concerned about education. I want to expand our institutions of higher learning. If we expand our institutions, then we will bring companies in here for research and development and for take advantage of the educated workforce. Very critical you have somebody who really lives and breathes education. Environment, of course, clean natural gas, you know, it just makes sense that you have a diesel truck that produces 4 times the carbon emissions as clean natural gas. So let's take advantage of the national push for the environment. Let's push natural gas, and also let's keep on pushing wind and solar. Ethics. I'm the only candidate that came out the first day I announced for office that I'm limiting myself to 12 years. So I will push for a bill to limit a U.S. representative to 12 years. And why did I pick 12 years? Because it's equal to 2 Senate terms. So I think that's going to be the easiest way to get something like that passed in Congress. And regardless if I get that bill passed or not, I am a fighter, so I will get it passed. But if for some reason I don't, I will limit myself to 12 years. You know, I do want to thank God, my dad and my stepmom's here, and I really want to thank God for providing me the family support, the business experience, and the life skills to get to this point where I can represent you well in Congress. I will listen to you and I will work hard for you, and I will represent you well, extremely well in Congress. You need somebody who has a public service experience, somebody who's been tested by fire. You need somebody who has the right education. You need somebody who has the right work experience. You need somebody who has the right work ethic. I've been working this morning since 4:30, and I want to still work when I get back home. You need somebody who is interested in the general welfare of our citizens, not about padding their pockets. I'm not interested in money. I was saying I don't have a lot of toys. I don't have a boat. I don't have a jet ski. I do have some guns that we've had in our family for years where we go hunting. But, you know, I don't have a lot of toys. I'm concerned about doing something worthwhile with my life, and that is serving the people of South Texas. I will create jobs, and I will enhance educational opportunities, and I will support ethics reform in Congress. And I will definitely be your voice. Now let's talk about, we had some questions that y'all wanted to talk about immigration reform. What we need to do is we need to have the states decide about immigration reform. Okay, let me tell you an example. When I was at a convention for Del Mar College, or actually community colleges throughout the nation, we had the Secretary of Education come to our assembly. And the Secretary of Education is saying, well, I have this goalpost, and I have this, this is how far the football field is, and this is the goals we're going to impose on the community college nationwide. But that's not the way to do it. The way you do it, you have the states get together, the community colleges get together, they have their own Congress, they set their own goalposts, they say how high it is, how far it is, and the states make their own goals. And then you make then you vote on it and make a national, you know, a national goalpost. So what I'm saying is, I don't want Congress, I don't want the government to push down and tell us what we need to do. I want us as a local entity to take care of business. So what I'm saying is, let's have all the border states solve that problem. Let's keep the money here. Let's don't send it to Washington. Let's have the border states help solve the immigration issue. For the central bank, I've heard quite a bit about that. When I get up to Congress, I definitely wanted to look at an audit of the central bank, and I want to look at a bipartisan review. What is it that my greatest security concern? It's a lack of funding for the military. We have to fund the military, and most importantly, we got to take care of our soldiers when they come home injured. And we have a lot of head injury here. One last thing. And how am I going to, what about current system of taxes? Isn't it unbelievable? Every day you hear about new tax. Today I heard on the radio about new tax, about every time they play a song on the radio, they're going to get taxed. Isn't this crazy? We don't need to keep on adding taxes. We need to stop that. And the way we're going to stimulate the economy is we need to eliminate the capital gains tax for 3 years.